Hi everybody, and whew, is this going to be quite a chock-full video. I really hope you'll stick by, watch the whole thing. If you want to forward through, bounce to your favorite parts or items you're interested in, don't blame you, but I'm going to tell you I got some cool stuff in here, including some gifts that I received from some people out there, and I've got it all in one video. I wasn't sure whether I should make separate videos for separate topics, but there is some really cool stuff here, so you'll want to see some of it. Okay, I'm going to start right away by showing you this item. It's paperwork that has to do with one of my favorite rock and roll artists, Joan Jett. And let me just set this up a little bit. In the summer of 1983, I found out through some friends where Joan Jett lived, you know, and it was not too far from where I was living at the time. And I figured I would send letters to the house. So I did. I sent letters that summer. They were all respectful letters. I know these days everybody says, oh, stalker, stalker. But nobody was really thinking like that too much back then. And they were very respectful letters. I was later told by the management that they really enjoyed the letters, very nice letters. And eventually I got a response from Joan Jett. She sent me an autographed photo, and she signed the back and wrote me a little note on the back. It was really, really a cool thing for them all to do. Joan and the managers. But anyway, let me show you this item. I'm going to kind of build up into this a little bit and explain what I'm getting at here. Okay, now let's take a closer look at this. I want to say from the beginning here that you can see that I've obviously blocked out some items here. Anything with the notice number, index number, anything where the location is obvious, you know, so I had to block out the street address, obviously, and the city and state and so forth. I wanted to protect the privacy here, even though this letter is 35 years old. I can't believe that. I remember it like it was only yesterday. And these people may not even live here anymore, but I didn't want to take any chances, so to be fair. Anyway, here we have Board of Appeals in the matter of the application of Joan Larkin, that's Joan Jett's real name, Ken and Meryl Laguna, that's the management, husband, wife. Now it says, please take notice that the undersigned has applied to the Board of Appeals of the, and it gives the location, for a variance under or from provisions of the building zone ordinance affecting the premises known as, and it gives the full street address in the town and state, said premises being within such a distance from property reputedly owned by you as to require notice to you under the rules of the said board. The nature of the application is briefly as follows: to construct a 6-foot-high fence along 2 street frontages where the maximum height permitted is 4 feet. And down here it says, the Board of Appeals will hold a public hearing upon said application at the municipal building, and the location where it is, on the 26th day of October 1983 at 8:00 p.m. or as soon thereafter as the matter may be reached, at which time all persons interested shall have opportunity to be heard. It's dated 30th of September 1983, and then it says here, applicant, it's got 3 signatures on it. I should mention, by the way, these signatures are not, you know, original. This is a photocopy. So this is a photocopy of this. First you have what looks like Kenny Laguna on the top, little scribble there, and then you have Meryl Laguna in the middle, and finally Joan Jett on the bottom, professional name instead of her real name. And I just think this is so cool. I mean, I'm a big Joan Jett fan, and I really wanted to have this. Okay, so that was it. Now, I was debating whether or not I would tell that little story because, you know, it's not exactly the best timing. I mean, here I am sending letters, along with, I'm sure, a lot of other fans. I mean, a lot of other fans of Joan Jett and the Blackhearts knew where she lived in that area. I'm sure they got a lot of fan requests and fan mail and stuff like that. But the timing of this is right around that period where I was trying the communication by the mail. So anyway, I hope you found that interesting. Okay, now let's go on to some other items here. Where do I begin? There's so many. I'm going to start with my very good friend, Robert Pfeiffer, who is nice enough, again, to send me some gifts And what he promises will be his last one, because he's been sending a lot of stuff. Wait till you see what he sent me. This isn't all in one shot. This was a series of packages, really, that I'm just putting together now in the video. This is a Brian Wilson 45 that is autographed by Brian. Look at that. I may not like the Pet Sounds album. I know that's his masterpiece, but I like a lot of other Beach Boys stuff, and I really respect Brian Wilson and his talents. I hear that this was acquired in 2008, this signature. And look at this. This is Midnight's Another Day on colored vinyl. And the B-side, That Lucky Old Sun and Morning Beat by Brian Wilson. Thanks so much, Rob. Can I call you Rob? I think by now I can, right? Thank you so much. Incredibly generous and thoughtful, to say the least. But it doesn't end there, folks. So everybody, if you're going to get bored and yawn by this, look at all the stuff. I'll show it very quickly. Other stuff that was sent to me by Robert. Look at this. CDs now for you CD lovers. Best of Badfinger. And then a whole slew of Simon & Garfunkel albums on CD. I love Simon & Garfunkel. Big fan. And I've got them now all on CD, which makes it easy listening in my car. We got Parsley, Sage, Rosemary, and Thyme. And by the way, these are all on the Columbia series there with the nice label. Sounds of Silence. Wednesday Morning, 3 a.m. Amazing. Is this not amazing? Bridge Over Troubled Water. These were all extras that he had because he had, I believe, had got a new box set or something, didn't require these anymore. Bookends. And then, really cool stuff that I didn't even really know about here. Live from New York City, 1967. And I have one here, Live 1969. And the soundtrack from The Graduate. Oh, come on, what are you doing, Robert? I have this one already, man. What? Can't you give me stuff I don't have? Ah, only kidding, you know. Trying to make it light. And I got a booklet here. Simon & Garfunkel booklet. Whoop. Simon & Garfunkel on Columbia. Look at this. Looks like the old Tom and Jerry days there, huh? We were known as Tom and Jerry. Thank you so much. Words can't express my appreciation. Hopefully you're done, because that was a lot of stuff. Okay, there's more gifts to come, though. This one I've been dying to show. I'm going to go back to Joan Jett, who I was just talking about. This is from my friend Tom Gwennon. Hey, Tom. Tom sent me some amazing stuff here. He sent me 2 Joan Jett and the Blackhearts 45s. Now, what's so special about these 45s? I didn't even know these existed. Okay? These are from CBS Records. Demonstration copies not for sale. White label. Joan Jett, 1986, redid the song Roadrunner. She did her cover of it. And it's Jonathan Richman, I believe. And in the lyrics, there are lyrics in there about New York City, New Jersey, or whatever. And she got into a routine whenever she would do live concerts that she would change the locations depending on where the venues were. Well, I knew she did that live, you know. If she was playing in Boston, she'd say, you know, the original Boston lyrics, I think, you know, can't you hear them out in Boston now, whatever. Well, Tom notified me that there are, I think, 48 versions of different places, different copies of these, and here's 2 of the 48. This one here, I don't know if you can see it, has different lyrics, and the lyrics there are Dallas-Fort Worth version. How about that? So if people in Texas can listen to this version. And then if you happen to live in Cleveland, in Ohio, you can listen to the Roadrunner version with different lyrics. pertaining to streets and locations and highways in Cleveland. I mean, is that great? I remember Joan talking about this in I think it was, I want to say early 87. She was talking about this on David Letterman. And she was saying that they did a lot of versions, but I thought she meant live. Anyway, that is an amazing collectible for a Joan Jett fan. Tom, I never knew they existed. I have to look for the other 46 versions. Next item I want to show up here is something that Mr. Mini sent me. Hello out there, Mr. Mini. And what I like about this is that it really kind of touched me, because I had made kind of a video response. I think it was to Psycho's Platter's current contest that's going on, where one of the questions was, show us a record that got away, that you really wanted, but it got away from you. And I told this really heartwarming, I hope, story about when I was a kid and I got a record by the Banana Splits, and I had an opportunity recently to get the Banana Splits record again, and somebody bought it ahead of me. Well, Mr. Mini heard that story, and he was so nice to send me this, the Tra-La-La song from my youth. It was a story where it was basically one of the very first, I think the very first item I ever sent away for when I was like 6 or 7 years old. I put the money, I think coins and everything, in an envelope, and my grandfather told me how to send it through the mail. So how great it was of Mr. Mini to think of me and to do this. Thank you. Okay, now, next thing up, we're going to get to some Record Store Day finds. And the Record Store Day finds will be as follows. Before I start, this is a free item that was given out on Record Store Day. I mean, well, there were a whole bunch of free items. If you bought something, you got something free. And I found a stack, and it said Frank Sinatra, he sings the songs, a bumper sticker. So this was the item I chose for free. And I think it's pretty damn cool. So, nice item. Now for the Record Store Day stuff. You probably already saw most of this. A lot of you are probably bored by it, but maybe there's a couple you haven't seen yet. I really don't know. First up, again, Elvis Presley. Elvis, the King in the Ring. The 1968 performance. And yes, I got a low number. Some people don't like people showing the low numbers. I got a 59, which I'm very happy with. I didn't open this yet. Don't want to open it just yet. I know it's on red vinyl. Trust me, there were a lot of record store videos out there showing it if you want. Well, here's a couple of Record Store Day items that, to the best of my knowledge, have not really been shown yet. At least I haven't seen any videos on it. This is the Clapton, Complete Clapton Record Store Day offering, where you get, wow, 8 sides here of a lot of good Eric stuff from the different phases of his career and the different bands he was in and so forth. So I'm going to pull these out here off the cuff here. So I didn't know there was a 45 in there. Let's first check that out, see what the 45 is. See What Love Can Do. The Shape You're In. I didn't expect this. That's pretty nice. A little bonus 45 on the Reprise label. Let's open the gatefold. How's that gatefold? Now that's really beautiful. Look at those photos in there. And the record's pretty much the same design. There's the label. I won't take the actual discs out, partly for time. But it's funny because I've wanted, recently, I didn't know this was coming out for Record Store Day, and I wanted very much to get a more comprehensive Clapton set. I didn't know what was out there where you'd have, like, you know, most of his stuff all together in one place. I didn't think it was possible. But there it is. And here's the second one. Really nice. I love it. Beautiful gatefold. This is a 4-record set, and I was just really so delighted to find out that this was actually coming out for Record Store Day right at the time where it's just what I was looking for. So, perfect timing. Keeping up with the Record Store Day theme here, I got Bobby Gentry live at the BBC, and I am going to show you the record. Now, this record is not on colored wax, but it's got a pretty cool label, I think, design. Looks like it's got Bobbie Gentry's eye there. So, yes, I'm still looking forward to hearing it. No, I have not heard it yet. Now, keeping in theme with Bobbie Gentry, I picked this up for dirt cheap. I saw this movie once, hated the movie, but I always liked this artwork. It's Ode to Billy Joe. It's the soundtrack to the motion picture. Never liked this movie. I don't like what they did with it, how they tried to explain away a song that didn't need any explanation. But what I like about it is, the way I bought the record is, there's a brand new, newly sung version at the time in the 1970s by Bobbie Gentry, doing her famous Ode to Billy Joe song, brand new. So that's why I picked it up. Plus, I like the artwork. Okay, anybody still watching? We got another Elvis item here. Elvis Presley, Such a Night. I've wanted this for a while. You know, I think it's a used copy. And first of all, before you even get to the content, it's worth having for that cover alone. And the gatefold and the booklet is absolutely out of this world. I mean, this is a book here on this side. Look at that. Now, no way can I do this justice in a short time. And I don't want to dislodge the book from the album because it's very delicate. But look at the picture of Elvis there. In this wonderful gold suit of his. I'll show you one more. Is that amazing? Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful release. The actual show is Elvis Such a Night in Pearl Harbor. You got a press conference here. It's 4 sides. Press conference. And then you got a preview special. Elvis salutes the USS Arizona, broadcast in 1961. And then you get the Pearl Harbor show. It says Hawaii, March 25th, 61, Part 1 and Part 2. And another great addition to the Elvis collection. I really, again, have been getting into Johnny Cash. Love the sound of that man's voice. Love the sound of the guitar playing that you hear on his records. And this is good. Original Sun Sound. Johnny Cash. And I did a job cleaning this. The top had masking tape running all across the top. I had to use a lighter fluid. I was able to get that off on the front. I still got some masking tape on the back, but I'm showing you the back because that's where the label is. It's upside down, the Sun label, and there's some tape remaining there. It's hard to get it off the front, but I think I did a pretty nice job overall. We also have this. We have a radio station copy, white label, not for sale, on Columbia, with a nice picture sleeve. Rosanna's Going Wild. I heard this song. Sounds like Ring of Fire to me. Reminds me of another Ring of Fire. And the B-side is called Roll Call. And love Johnny Cash lately. We have a cheap album here in the shrink, Stephen Bishop, Careless. I love that song from the 70s, On and On. That's why I bought this, just to have that on record. On an album, actually. I have it on a 45, DJ promo single, actually. I actually got a little bit back into the jazz routine. For 3 albums that only cost $1. Here's Hollywood Basie's Way. Love that cover, Count Basie. You know, I don't know, I got the big band jazzy feeling back. So, there's the gatefold. I hear this is supposed to be a really good one. Benny Goodman, Swing into Spring. And it's not in great shape, but the kind of maroonish Columbia label. I think that's the first press of that. And the last item is another $1 item in not great shape. But anyway, Benny Goodman plays World Favorites in High Fidelity. So I'm getting a little bit of the toe in the water in for the big band era jazz stuff again. Okay, everybody, thank you for watching. Wow, just made it 20 minutes.